Hey guys, this is Case. You're listening to the best freaking podcast in the world, Culture Pop Radio. Let's get it.
Hey, what up, guys? It's Julia Vamps, and who we got on the show today?
My name's Case, aka Casey Inkle. Whatever you guys want to go by, whatever.
I'm
you
gonna
guys
call you Case.
by.
Period.
That's
I'm
fine.
joking.
Case. Period. Case closed. That's it.
Case closed. Exactly. You actually made a reference in one of your songs about damn, I forgot the exact lyric, but you said something like something, and it's something case closed period, something like that.
It's Case with the dot. I know.
Yeah,
I said
Case
that
with the
after.
dot.
Yeah, because a lot of people always try to, So there's a guy named Case. It's funny how we can go into the story later.
Yeah.
But there's a guy named Case, an R&B singer, and
Right.
originally when I first made my name, when I tried to make music and put my music out, it went under like his catalog.
Oh.
So that's
Damn.
I had to separate myself. Period.
I mean, you
no
know
pun
what?
intended.
But you know what? It is like you got to command that. You have to.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about your latest single with Dave East, Be Like Me. So first of all, before we even get into that, how was like the inception of working with Dave East? How did that happen? Was that organically or?
So it's really interesting. So at the time, I said this on a couple other shows too, but I've never really listened. I've listened to Dave East, but I never dug really deep into his catalog of music.
Right.
So I always listened to him here and there. But I went to a pop-up shop with one of my best friends who loves Dave East. And I met some guy on the line. Shout out to Forsyth. That's his name.
Shout out.
He's also a rapper, but we were on the line and we were chatting it up, and I was with my friend, and he just said he got a feature with Dave East. And I was like, oh, wow, like that's pretty big. You know what I'm saying? Like, good for you. I think that's amazing.
He said clap.
I was like, I'm like, all right, like you're here. You're clearly here. You're real with it.
Right.
And then after that, we didn't stay for the whole entire pop-up shop, but we're still fans. It was just taking really long, and we had a couple other things to do. But I chopped it up with him. We spoke for a little bit. We like exchanged like social medias.
Oh, wow.
And not Dave East, obviously. Forsyth, that was my friend on the line. And then after that, me and Ethan left. We listened to his new album. It was really great at the time. I still love it. Great album. And then moving forward, like a couple months later, Forsyth hit me up one day, and I was at the studio with just my engineer making some music. And Forsyth was like, hey man, like I got this song I want you to hop on, like you should hop on it. And I was like, all right, sure. At the time, I was looking to collaborate with like new artists. And at the time I saw his catalog, and he had a song with Jadakiss and a couple other like bigger artists. I was like, all right, this is like a really good opportunity for me. So I'm definitely going to take it. And then I sent him back the verse literally like same day, in like a couple hours. And he's like, oh, this is dope. I'm gonna put this on my album. We're actually dropping it in the next like 2 weeks. It's a single. So it's going to be amazing, but we have a couple artists on it who are fantastic. And then after that, we just started speaking like more and more, and we got a lot closer, and we started talking about more and more music. And then one day, like I was just chilling, and he literally offered me the opportunity. He's like, hey man, I'm cool with like his people. I have an opportunity for you. I know you're a serious artist. It looks like you're doing serious things. And this was around the time where I dropped like, I want to say like my debut single, Kill Switch. And it was like my first like professionally shot like music video.
Oh, wow.
And it was awesome. Shout out to Tom. He's an amazing guy. And then, yeah, he literally sent me everything, and then he gave me all these details, and he's like, I have these artists that if you want to work with, let me know. And Dave East happened to be one of the artists. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I was like, I never thought about it, right? So like, as soon as I knew I was getting that opportunity, I started about thinking Dave East, I was like, okay, I definitely need to, brush up on a lot about like, the culture, what Dave East is and who he is as an artist. Cause I think it's important to understand like who you're working with.
Right.
Not that I didn't know who he was like on a personal level, but I just knew who he was as an artist. So I started watching just tons and tons of interviews, like studying Dave East and who he is as an artist. And like, it just made me like respect him so much more as an artist. And I was like, damn, like this is awesome. Like I love his story. I love everything about him. And I was like, this is going to make me even love the song even more. Right. It's going to have that much more of a meaning to me. And then, like I said, like just moving further down the line, like Forsyth was just pretty much like that guy. And then he worked everything through. Yeah. And then I did everything, sent him the song, he sent it back. Like I was expecting it to come back like a while later because, usually industry artists are really busy.
Yeah.
But no, I got that back like a week later. And I was like,
that's good.
I was like, oh God.
That means he actually has respect for you.
No,
and
1,000%.
Respecting your time.
And his work, you know what I'm saying? Like I love the grind. I love that hustle. So he sent it back, and then I just started working on everything, starting on all the marketing, started all the cover art, all the music video stuff. And like, yeah, now I'm here 2.5 weeks later.
Wow.
We're past almost like 260K all around. So it's pretty good. Yeah.
It's been very good.
Absolutely.
You're seeing that Dave East, I guess, I want to say favor.
Yeah.
Like you're getting that little bit of like that Jesus favor right now.
1,000%. And like I said, like he's more of, a lot of people know him for this like that rap and that old school.
Right, that gritty stuff.
Absolutely. And then my music is not like that gritty, but I have more of like a pop rap. So I think it also gives his fan base something new to listen to. And especially my fan base, something new to different too. Because I feel like a lot of people took me a lot more serious. I always said this, but like I think my last 3 or 4 songs were like my best songs at the moment. And
Kill Switch,
and then About That Life and Popstar, like those were all like my faves at the moment, like what I listened to. And I think when people saw me and I announced that I had the feature with Dave East, people were like, oh, like this is serious. Like he's taking this serious now. And I just think it's so funny how I always say this, but people always want to hop on the bandwagon like once it's already taken off.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day
and
too.
I can't stand that because it's just like, you guys just didn't support me before, but now that you guys see that I have a big feature, now everyone's like, oh, I want to know this person. And it's just like, that's not cool. Like, I always try to push my music out and I always try to show you guys like that side of me because each song is like a little just feeling that I've had in that moment and it's just like extremely emphasized.
Right.
You know?
And you kind of switch gears a little bit with this particular track with Dave East because you get a little bit more, and it's funny that I said grittier earlier, but you kind of get a little bit more grittier. Yeah. And I don't know if that is the Dave East effects because your previous music, like you said, it's more like a poppy sort of hip hop, not the most lyrical and, going crazy and in depth about certain things where maybe it may or may not matter for a particular audience. But with this particular track, you switch gears a little bit. You touched on mental health. And I actually like that because it was a little bit of wordplay in between a little bit. And it just was very light. It wasn't overwhelming. So was that because Dave East was on this track? Or?
So originally when I made this song, I actually wasn't sure if I was going to have Dave East on it. It was made the same day I was actually recording songs to send to Dave East.
Oh, wow.
So it was last minute at the studio session. So it's funny how this beat came. I was on TikTok actually at the studio. And shout out to Jack because Jack produced the song. And I saw his song. He had Camila Cabello.
Wow.
Yeah, he had like a beat, like a Jack Harlow with her type of like mix on a song. Yeah. And I was like, oh, like this is crazy. I really, really want this. And I hit him up literally same day and I bought the stems, I bought the beat and everything. And literally that same day, I recorded the song and everything. And then I started talking to him a little more. And I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna get Dave East on this. Like I'm really interested in getting him. But I have like the original version of the song too, which is like me only, like no open, no
Would
nothing.
You be open to actually releasing that just so people can see like you standing on your own on this particular song?
I don't know. I think it's like too short.
Okay.
It's like 2 minutes without the feature. It's
especially
not.
because we
Replay
are in
value
that
is nice.
TikTok era. We're in that Instagram era where everything is like 60 seconds, 30 seconds or less and stuff like that.
I agree, but I think Dave East like gave it what it like needed.
Okay.
The whole thing about the whole gritty and all that is like when I heard the song, it like instantly just like flowed. It was very nice. It's funny how like the lyric came along, like they want to be like me, Notorious and B.I.G. I was in my car listening to Notorious B.I.G. in the car. It's really funny. And like after I just started like switching a couple songs later, in my head I was just listening to like random beats in the car and I was just like, they want to be like me, Notorious and B.I.G. And I feel like that just goes over a lot of people's heads.
No, I caught that.
Because a lot of people just like, but a lot of people, I feel like it just went right over. And I was just like, hey man, you guys just, you're not on the wave. But
they'll get there. They'll definitely get there for sure.
But I definitely wanted to touch on mental health. And like I always tell people, I've posted this multiple times on my Instagram, but I think this song is like the most of me in a song. And I think I want people to know like that I'm just like them. I also have like my issues that I go through.
Right.
And I think people are able to relate to that,
It's like a double meaning. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's definitely dope. And I want to kind of touch on your collab with Elijah the Boy. So he's definitely been a buzzing artist. How are you able to get that collab as well? Because he's kind of getting
he's awesome.
to the
So,
like Hollywood level.
He is awesome. I really like him. Shout out to Elijah the Boy too. So he posted a long time ago. I always wanted to work with him. I've always like seen him post for a long time. One of my friends that I used to follow. I still follow him actually. He's an artist too. He actually put me on to him. And I started listening to his music for a little bit and I was just like, oh, like this is dope. Like he could really rap.
Right.
And then I was like, all right, so like he actually like influenced me to like just push myself a little more because seeing like another independent artist like that, like grind and be like really good. I was like, all right, like I need to step up now. Like it's my time to shine. I need to really like hound into like my craft. And then one day I just saw him post something and it was just like, I'm trying to work with new artists.
Wow.
And then I was like, all right,
Reached
raise
out.
my hand. I was
Closed mouths don't get fed.
No, literally, I was like, raise my hand. I was like, hey man, I would love to like work with you on this. And then I know he's always busy all the time, so it took just a little bit of time before the song actually was like come together. But when he sent me everything, I was like not like let down. I was like, oh, this is fire.
Yeah.
And
No,
I
I like this song a lot.
Mixed it, mastered it, and then released it.
Absolutely. And it's, it's so funny, like you guys' voices blend pretty well because I almost forgot who was who. And I was like, wait, huh?
I know, it's
like,
funny.
It blended that good.
It's funny because people always tell me like, I don't sound like me when I rap.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like it sounds like me, but
I agree, because when you came in and you started speaking, I'm like, this is not who I heard.
just a soft person.
Yeah.
This is
really
not
soft.
who I just really soft.
Because I didn't want to say that, but I was like thinking when I heard your voice for the first time, I'm like,
Throws people off.
Yeah, threw me off.
Throws everyone off. I know. It's funny.
No, so let's talk about, since we're kind of on that cadence being the same, I hear a lot of Migos references in your older tracks, but who actually influenced you to get into rap, and how is that working with your military career? Because like, it's like you're getting this base before we get into who influenced you. It's like, how is this you're active?
Yeah. So it's really interesting why I started making music. I heard a song on the radio and I was like, this is trash. And I was like, I could definitely do a better job. Okay. And my friend at the time, we're still friends. He was like, yo, it's like, just I'll start making music. And we started doing it like as a hobby. And, at first when I started rapping, it's funny because my main influence, this is around the time like Bank Account came out by like 21 Savage. Okay. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna start rapping like this. And then a lot of my songs pretty much like mimicked some of that. Okay. And and I was like, this is not me. It took me a while to get there, right? Obviously, because when you first start, you're trying to find yourself as an artist and like where you fit in to music, and you're just so influenced by all the things that you hear that you try to mimic that a lot. So I try to move away from that a little bit now. I always take like a bigger picture, take a step back and be like, is this me? Like I don't want, obviously it's okay to take things from other places and have that, influence your music, but like what makes it me, is what is most important. So just moving forward with that, I've been in the military since I was 17. I enlisted when I was 17, turned 18 in boot camp. And then like after that is when I kind of started to make music. Like I told you, I started it as a hobby because I heard a song on the radio that I didn't like. Then moving
That's a first.
Yeah, literally. And I started off on SoundCloud like everyone else. And then once I started getting a little more serious, I kept moving more forward with just like music. And then it took me a while, I think, to get to where I'm at now, but I'm very proud of like that growth because I think people can see it in my music. And I think that's extremely important because no one's always like good like when they first start. Right.
You started in 2018 or before that?
I want to say around like maybe like 2016, 2017. But I didn't take it serious maybe until, like I said, like maybe like 2-3 years ago. Okay. When I really, really got like serious into it. But it was always just a little hobby. Growth
between your previous tracks all the way up until this last track with Dave East.
Yeah, and this was a
big
hobby.
Jump.
And then moving forward, like even after that, like I said, I just kept going at it for a very long time. And I've always come from like a very musically, I'm gonna say inclined family because they've always put me into so much music. I was raised on like the Bee Gees. I love 80s music. So 80s is like my favorite genre of music. Like I would love to make like an 80s album. It's so awesome.
I would like to see you do that. I feel like your voice could actually work for that.
I think so. I just have to work on the vocals,
Nah, you're good. Because I wanted to ask you too, because now we have Beyonce and Drake kind of reshifting gears.
House music.
With music. Yeah. So now you had a very experimental album with Rear. I wanted to ask you about the spelling of that in a second, but do you think that now that you've done the experiment, will you experiment again now that the shift is happening? Because we're kind of starting to move a little bit away from drill and now we're getting to house music, the Baltimore sound.
Absolutely. So like I said, I've always come from like this musically inclined family. So I've always had a mixture of just everything. Like everything in my life has always just been a lot of music. My father, I grew up with him a lot on like house music, right? And like that 90s house music. And
you got the Bee Gees obviously with the disco.
Love. Yeah, like I said, love the 80s. So they're just fantastic. But I've always grew up like also in like the old classic hip hops, like the old heads, like Nas, Jay-Z. Like we always know, like these are the people who are like really big staples in hip hop. And I definitely grew up on them. And it took me a while. Like I said, I was very influenced for a while. And to go back to what you said before, like how the military like kind of played into role a little bit. It's just I enlisted because I made a bet kind of like with my friends that we would all like just go in
now
together.
You can't get out. It's like it's like the mafia.
I love it though. I just re-enlisted for another 4, so it's just I love what I do. You know, I love helping other people and mentoring, and I think that also like plays a major role with my music. Yeah. Because I think with the platform that I have, I always say this, but I'm like I call myself the Southside, the voice of Southside Brooklyn. Right. And I think it's important to give people that voice and that platform so they're able to speak on their issues. Right. And that's just something that's really important to me because as a guy or in general, right? Like a lot of people, as a dude, we don't really get to talk a lot about our problems. And I feel like a lot of guys boil that in. Yeah. And like you shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's okay to be a little more like vulnerable with people and show them that side. And, you know, I think that's where I also want to move forward towards my music, tell a little bit more of a story. And
you're getting there. And I like that there is actual growth in your music because like you said, you can hear it from your early releases all the way up until now. And I'm definitely digging it a lot.
Yeah. And in terms of like experimenting, I think after like a couple more releases, maybe like 1 or 2, I think I want to more shift towards maybe I will try like a dance hall song.
Hey, why
or something
not?
along those lines. And like, cause you're right. Jay-Z and Beyonce are they are shifting that pedestal now towards music. And I always say that a lot of these trends always come back. Right. And it's really clear in like fashion. You see that very often. Like the clothing that we all wear nowadays is very like 90s influence. Like baggy pants are coming back. Baggy shirt. Everything starts to come back like full circle, but in a more modern take. And I think that's important for us to just grow from because all good music, obviously, or just all music in general stems from like the old music. And we all know that. And that's my opinion. But like all the music that you hear nowadays is just like influence just from the past. And it's hard to like break that new barrier. When you hear that new sound, it's like, hard, like that's crazy.
So much has already been done. And it's like you kind of have to go back and recycle. But before we get into my favorite part of the show, it's called 5 Fast Facts. So you got to be quick. So I'm quick time in between this. Are you going to be playing any shows upcoming? And I know you had like the It's Lonely in Space, Out Here in Space. Yeah. And then Rear. Are you going to drop another EP or are you going to take your time with this as you continue to grow more as an artist?
So I think right now, as an artist, I think this is for any artist, but I think singles are going to be extremely beneficial until you grow that solid fan base. Like I said, since I did get that Dave East push, my platform has grown a lot more. Yeah. But that doesn't mean like it's time for me to drop an album. I'm not going to rush that. You know? I want to build more of a solid fan base, experiment, see what people still want to hear from me. And then once I know I have like that really big solid fan base, like that's when I'm gonna be like, all right, here's the EP. Let me know what you guys think. But I want to make sure I have like the budget for it too. Right. So like I want to make sure I have like at least 2 music videos for the EP. Right. With Tom. But these are gonna be like high budget music, but they're not gonna be like.
Yeah, well, I see like, you are high budget. You came in here, man.
Always.
Put me to shame. My little $10 T-shirt. You came in here with the Pradas. No, I'm just
I feel you. But
are you gonna be playing any shows as well?
So for shows, I'm still looking for shows right now. Okay. Right. I have a lot going on just with me and like in general. I'm always busy, so it's kind of hard for me to always like tap into shows. But I definitely do want to start reaching out to a lot of shows. But I want to practice. So my biggest thing is like everyone's like, oh, just go on stage and do your thing. But like I don't want to look dumb on stage, right? Like not like I'm scared. Right. But I definitely have like a DJ that I'm talking to right now, and I would love to like get our own space. Practice, so because stage presence is like the most important. Exactly. And especially like with iconic people, like stage presence is number one. If you don't have good stage presence, like you're gonna look lackluster if you go on stage and then you're not doing your thing and it's not what people expected.
I have seen that a lot. I've seen, and this is no shade at anybody, and I won't mention, but I've seen where the platform could be 500,000 followers, get on stage, and just like can't even pack out. The venue, and the venue's like maybe small enough for them to be able to do that, and then get on stage with a little bit of people that's there, and shocking how much they don't command the audience. That's what I'm saying. It's completely a facade. So I like that you said that stage presence is very important, super important, especially trying to keep your fans going to pay to see you. And moving forward, like I want to also make songs that are more like show worthy, you know what I'm saying? Like not saying that a lot of my old songs aren't, right? But they're definitely show worthy, because that was another thing that I noticed. Like you have songs that can be on the radio. Oh, it's not skippable. That's what I enjoy the most. Like it's literally all your music thus far, you can't skip it, and it's stuff that you can play on stage and that can command the audience. Is how you do it when you get there.
Yeah. And like I said, I think moving forward, I do want to make a couple songs, maybe like my next two, where it's gonna be more for like the people in the show. Like, I love seeing. I watch tons of videos, and like this might be weird because I fantasize a lot about them, but I always watch these videos. I watch these videos all the time on YouTube of like the most like lit crowd compilations.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just love seeing like the people really going crazy to like the music. Like,
awesome.
Like, you know, like now, and besides the whole like Astroworld thing, but like Travis Scott's like fans, like Playboy Cardi fans, like a lot of these people, like, they love the music and they would just love the vibe. And like, that's the crowd I want to be part of as well. Cause I want people to also listen to me, but I don't want to make like rage mosh pit music. I want people to enjoy the vibe. I want to even say like Jack Harlow's like perfect example. Like, he makes awesome.
He's a calm guy, yeah.
He makes awesome like hip hop music, but the people love his music. They bounce to it. And like, I want to have like that bounce that just makes the crowd go crazy, you know?
And you definitely got that. You're on the way. So this is my favorite part of the show. It's called 5 Fast Facts. You've got to drop 5 facts about yourself that your fans don't already know. So we already know about the military. We know you're a Marine. Now you got to skip past all of that and give me 5 fresh ones.
So 5 fresh facts, right?
Yeah,
Boom.
5
so
fresh
number
facts.
1, I hate using this word, but I am a geek. And a lot of people don't know that. I feel like a lot of people always think I'm this cool, suave guy, but I do love to like play video games, read comics, love all that stuff.
Okay, that's good.
All right, so number 2, fun fact. A lot of people don't know this. People could judge me. But now when I was like 9 years old, 10 years old, I did take a on my dad's shoulder.
What?
A lot of people don't know that, but that's a different story for another time. We ain't gonna get into that.
What?
Yeah. I know that sounds crazy. That sounds real crazy. I'm getting all the weird stuff out because
you were 9?
I was older. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh wait, you gotta get to number 3. We gotta talk about this after the show, bro. What? What's number 3?
Shout out to my dad though, because he really hated me at the time. He really did. I almost got my killed. But
oh my god.
Yeah. Number 3 was when I was younger. This is a little weird. I don't know why, but I used to go like shopping with my mom, and every time I went shopping with her, I was really young. This was like when I was like 5, 6. When I was like really young, I used to love like grabbing like squashes.
What?
At the store, because I just thought like the texture of the squash was like just very smooth, and I would just like hold them like they were my toy.
Okay.
I know.
He's got the Angelica doll as a squash for himself.
No, like I don't know. Like I was just really weird. I just really enjoyed it.
So far, this is great.
Oh no, yeah.
Where we at? We're at number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4, where we at?
So number 4, another fun fact I want to say about me, I think that people don't know.
Okay.
Is that it sounds really bad too, because it's
too late.
It's all poop stories. Like, it's pretty much.
You already started off.
Shout out to my mom, but she knows this too, because like, so when I was younger, every time like my mom would get like her car cleaned when I was younger, I would just pull like my diapers to the side and just like take a crap in my mom's car too.
Yo!
I don't know what to go with these crap stories, but you're bringing all like the weird little kid things that I used to do as a child.
Yo. Oh, come on. You got to give me number 5 at this point. What's number 5?
Number 5 is I'm like notorious for like pranks on people.
And do you poop on people when you do these pranks?
No. I don't poop on people when I do these pranks, but I can't even tell you, like, shout out to my mom. I love her. But the amount of times I've probably almost licked my mom due to like pranks. I know my mom's like petrified of bugs.
Oh, yeah.
So I get like fake cockroaches, and she would like shower, and I would just like throw them all in the shower. And all you see is like, all you hear is like boom, 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 boom. And I would just get screamed at. But yeah, I guess you could say I'm a little bit like a prankster. I love playing like jokes on people besides all the pooping.
Yeah, you poop. You poop a lot. You poop a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that was by far the most interesting 5 fast facts. I don't think anybody can ever top that.
No, 1,000% no.
Future, past, present, whatever. That was.
You never know what you don't know.
Thank you so much,
of course.
Case.
I got you.
Well, I'm Julia Vamps. This is Case.
It's Case. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And don't poop on people, man.
Don't poop. Don't poop on people.
Dude, yo, what the?
Yeah.